Hey everybody out there in the land of YouTube, this is Annette Dion. I am the host and founder of the Psychic News Network, PNN. And today's Monday. It is September 26th, 2022. I have notes to look at about what we need to read on. It's a long list. Thank you for those of you who joined me on Saturday night for the live. It's always a lot of fun. It's just that before I go live, I have to gear up. It takes a lot of attention. So thank you. That was a lot of fun, and we did get to a lot of questions Saturday night. And thank you all who attended Church of Spirituality. I just want to tell people the Church of Spirituality has really grounding, peace-provoking, good spiritual stuff. And it's absolutely free, and I'm not trying to convert anybody. I'm just offering what I've got to help people to feel calm and collected. Yesterday I spent some time in Salem, Mass. I did post a couple of things. Salem's right up the street from me. I did post a couple of things, pictures and stuff from there. So check that out. What's going on in the news? Well, I just watched a little bit of a clip from Roger Stone. These guys are unbelievable. They really do think they're above the law. They really do think that they're impeccable, that they'll never be held accountable. And from the looks of things, they might be right. I'm kidding. But from my perspective, from the years that I have lived, I never thought I'd see the day that so many people could commit so many crimes and just be walking around free. So we're going to take a look at what's going on with that. I know that even the people in the January 6th committee are really on edge about all of it. We all are. It's not anything that we're not all going through. It's difficult. And we are really facing the darkness of humans, of humankind, the dark side of humankind. And when I heard Roger Stone saying something right after before the election was certified in December, saying we're going to go, basically shoot them up. We're going to go, excitedly just talk about killing people. That's a form of evil we haven't really seen in our country really ever in our lifetimes until now. And it is disconcerting. I know that we all want to just live our lives and have a good time. And we have this hanging over our heads, the fact that some people just need power at everyone else's expense, and they have to ruin everything. Like in school, if one person was acting unruly, one of your classmates was acting unruly, and you all had to pay for it. It's kind of what it's like. But it is happening across the world that people are being forced to rise up and fight back. In Italy today, they've gone far right, so that's disconcerting. Let me see, I'm just looking up. Moroni is her name. Macaroni, not macaroni, but boy, she's a beaut. After about 6 to 8 months in Italy, we're going to see an uprising. I can't believe they've gone all full on Mussolini, but I do see some opportunities for people to fight back against the right-wing fascism. She's a full-on fascist. And I don't know a lot about the politics in Italy, but I just know what I feel, and it's not good. So, anyway, and Iran is having riots and they've cut off the internet access. It's just the quest to take away people's personal power just boggles my brain. Let's take a look at what's going to happen to, switching back to this country, to Stuart Rhodes of the Oath Keepers. Is he Oath Keepers or Proud Boys? They're kind of one and the same. He's going to he's facing jail time. Let's ask the pendulum how long he'll go to jail. I'm reminded all the time of how many details they had covered on January 6th and how it's a miracle that we made it. So we have a lot of work to do, but don't forget to count your blessings. How many years is Stuart Rhodes going to get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like he'll get like 10 years. Stuart Rhodes. Oath Keepers? Is it Oath Keepers? Anyhow, I think I'll light my candle from Salem. I got incense, I got candles, I got a new ring, a pentacle ring. It's always fun. Having witchy days is always fun. The January 6th committee, they're having a hearing on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I feel like this one is going to boggle our minds, but they all have. We've just kind of forgotten because they did stop for a while. I feel them winding down in December in terms of more hearings. I feel like there might be one in December. This is not the last one. We are concerned about the Department of Justice. We're concerned about the seeming slowness of all this. I still feel like Donald Trump will be, in a subtle way, he will be subtly made to pipe down because of legal issues. He's gone full on QAnon, which is really disturbing, and it's remarkable to look at how much violence has happened around people that really believe in QAnon. And who knows who Q is? I don't know if they ever came up with a Q. I always thought it was a bot. Let's take a look at that. Let's pull 3 cards and ask if Q is actually a bot. Pull 3 cards. I hope you had a good weekend. Okay, QAnon. The QAnon is actually going to experience a lot of heartache. What do we mean by that, guides? Heartache. I see QAnon and I see heartache. And I actually see, well, that could have to do with their emperor. This is the King of Pentacles. But that might have to do with them seeing that Donald Trump is out of money. I don't know how they find that out because they're pretty delusional. I'm getting sort of a quieting down with QAnon and Trump. I'm not getting a ramping up. I'm getting a kind of a quieting down, and I'm not really sure why I'm getting that, except that I feel like it has something to do with, in Michigan there was that horrible situation where somebody who had just gone nutso QAnon. Mind control is a very scary thing. Be grateful for your mind. It's a very delicate thing. The man who was just so obsessed with Trump and so obsessed with QAnon and really had gone off the deep end and shot and killed his wife, injured his daughter's friend, killed the dog. And it was all about QAnon. It was all that he was believing all the QAnon garbage. And you may have read about that. It's very, very tragic. They were interviewing the daughter on one of the networks. The daughter who wasn't there at the time. I think it was at a friend's house, but she didn't happen to be there. What a brave soul. And, you know, she just basically said that her father became a completely different human being. So the mind is a, what they used to say back in the day, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And the mind is a terrible thing to waste, you know, with drugs. That's what that referred to back then. But the mind is a terrible thing to waste when it gets sucked into the cult mind. It's awful. But I do have this, it's odd. I have this sense that Trump starts to lose his power. This is all gradual, and QAnon becomes heartbroken, and as he loses money and power, I just feel it kind of a quieting down. That's interesting. I didn't really expect that. So interesting doing readings. By the way, I just posted on my community page, I don't know if you get to see that. Some of you do. I don't know if everybody can see it. That I am doing Halloween. I know it's still September, but where I live, it's already Halloween. Anyway, so just wait. You'll see. I'm gonna deck out the place. If you would like to book a Halloween party and have a virtual psychic tarot card reader, Anetion7@gmail.com, because we have to have fun in the midst of all the chaos. Let's see. I have a list. I do have a list. And I'll go live again sometime in the near future, and, you know, for PNN. And you can ask me your questions. Oh, someone was operating the White House switchboard and placed a call to a rioter on January 6th. I felt from the minute I heard that the White House call to the rioter, I looked at that on Saturday. It felt like Trump was on the phone with the rioter for a minute or two. Let's take a look. Let's see what more we have about that, because that just came out, and I know the January 6th committee is a little bit miffed that this guy Denver, what's his name? Denver Riggleman. Riggleman, what kind of name is that? Denver Riggleman. Strange. Well, let it leak. And the January 6th committee, they're very, airtight with their information. They don't want people just leaking it like that. Make sure you catch that on Wednesday if you can. Okay, so this is about the call to the White House. Yeah, the call to the White House, what they were doing, it was, I feel like it was one of the Proud Boys or Oath Keepers, but I feel like he was on the phone with Trump for a couple of minutes. And they were actually, this is like the building, they were building their plan. And the guys are saying Lauren Boebert was in on it too. I don't feel like it was directly connected to that call, but Lauren Boebert's mother and Boebert were in on it, and her mother had a megaphone and was given directions, because remember, all the insurrectionists had maps of the Capitol. Try to keep up, people. I know it's a lot. It's crazy. They will find out. They will find out who was on the phone with the rioter. Doesn't it seem like the more you find out, it's like, oh my God, that's amazing, amazingly terrible, and that must be the icing on the cake. But can't go beyond that. Once you've iced the cake, that's it. You know what I mean? But then there's more. There's always more. So I know the whole world has gone crazy, but from a psychic point of view, at the same time, I feel like we're going through this time where things are going to come to a peak in terms of, it's going to get heated. in terms of the dark is going to be fighting, and then the light is going to be fighting back, and it's like an adjustment time. It's like we're adjusting to the new energy that's coming in. Because, I mean, call it what you will. I hear all kinds of phrases that people have coined, these different terms, and I'll just tell you, from my perspective, it's a very powerful, high frequency energy that we are being subjected to. I have heard an astrologer, Pam Gregory, say that we're going through a photon belt in the universe, which is just real high frequency, and people can't handle it. So yesterday at Church of Spirituality, I talked about tuning, like tuning an instrument, tuning a guitar. We really have to take good care of ourselves so we can align ourselves and tune ourselves into this new frequency that's coming in order to be resilient. Really, it's true. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what I'm saying, I can understand that. So, love and light, love and light, love and light. Just keep sending love and light. It's interesting to me, the uprising of the feminine. Now, when I was in Salem, and you may have seen that I posted a video, it's right here on my page, of the Salem witch memorial. Just, it's a very, very sad thing, but when you look at it, was like 1692, September 22nd, a lot of those innocent people were hung because of this hysteria. It was a hysteria around thinking that they were possessed by demons, and they weren't. And it's just amazing that we're still going through that. Not hanging people because they're witches, but I'll tell you something. If we went all Christian nationalists in this country, don't worry, I'm not predicting that. But the GOP, the Republicans, want Christian nationalism. Speaking of Boebert, she was out there a while back, not very long ago, and Marjorie Taylor Greene too, saying, we need Christian nationalism, which means all the psychics on YouTube and myself having Church of Spirituality, and anything to do with this stuff that we do, which is really just accessing, the etheric, the Akashic records, the field, would be shut down. So it's hysteria, and it's based in fear. It's hysteria. Like, they hung these innocent people in 1692 in Salem because everyone went crazy. And it's the fear of not knowing what's going on, and it's the fear of the unknown that feeds that. Anyway, getting all into my analysis. Where's the moon today? The moon today is in Libra. I'm getting into all this analysis. Libra's an air sign. Kind of weighing it out and trying to figure things out. If you're a Libra, happy Libra season. So I'm going to take a look at Iran, just speaking of women and women's rights, and then we're going to look at the GOP and how they're doing in terms of how they're going to fare in the midterms. Kirsten Sinema, I know she's not a Republican, but she's a Republican, in my mind, was up there, saying that she gets along great with Mitch McConnell. I don't know what she's talking about. But the GOP in the midterms, the women will rise up and will smack them down. Today, I was feeling like it's not going to be... I feel like the Democrats will still keep the House. I kind of feel like we're going to have a bit of more of the same after the midterms. I'm not really sure things are going to change that much in terms of numbers in the House and the Senate. So let's take a look at our trusty pendulum. There's a lot of variables around elections. It's kind of like sports games. And if psychics could call the score for sports games, we'd all be rich. It's just, there's a lot of variables. Okay, so let's take a look. Right now, Are the Republicans going to take the House? See, I'm getting a no on that. Are the Republicans going to take the Senate? I'm getting a no on both of those. Is the pendulum just giving me what I want to see? I'm just kidding. Am I manipulating the pendulum to make it do what I wanted to do? I'm getting no. I'm getting no. I'm getting the, it's the women's issue. It's, you know, telling women that they have no right to make the decision about what was going to happen with their bodies and what's going to happen with their lives. It's out and out misogyny. And in Iran, it's out and out misogyny. Let's first, I know I'm switching countries a lot, but you know, that's kind of where we are right now. It's one collective acting together. I don't know what happened to Italy. We're going to see the women rising up in Italy too. Because that Moroni, she might as well be a man. In terms of how much she doesn't care about women's rights. I mean, I don't know. She's got a lot of masculine energy. This is Iran. Actually, okay, so everyone stay in the consciousness that what's happening across the pond is also happening energetically here. Not as bad, but, you know, we're all seeing similarities. Mercury's retrograde. I can barely get my words out. Boy, and I've had my share of problems with Mercury retrograde. I don't usually, but it's been, my Wi-Fi's been messed up and things have just been, just gotta roll with it. You know what I mean? In Iran, the United States, the women in the United States, this is so interesting. It really is fascinating when I'm picking up. It's almost like the women owning their power in the United States sort of affects what's going on with the women in Iran. This is a rising up of the divine feminine. I do agree with that idea. Definitely. So the women of the United States, even though they've cut off the internet to the people in Iran, there's going to be a collective sort of effect on the women in Iran from the American women. That's a card of the divine feminine. And quickly, now I feel like in Iran, the regime there, I do see people dying, and I see it being, it's weird. I see a lot of fighting and a lot of violence, but I see the people winning. And I'm kind of feeling like that's what's going to happen in Russia too. A lot of fighting, a lot of violence. It's going to be a while. We don't know how long, but... And then the people are going to take... The people have the power, like that Patti Smith song. The people have the power. And the thing is, these fascist regimes don't want anyone to have the power. So as we become more empowered as a human civilization... particularly, especially the women, and the light and the love become the power, then they just get angry. They get angry. The people that are addicted to power and domineering and being all controlling are getting very angry. So we just have to keep fighting. We are in some interesting times here. Very interesting. So the moon is in Libra, and that's all I really see going on in my calendar there today. Okay. Should we go to the Orange Menace? Who calls him the Orange Menace? I picked that up somewhere. I call him the Big Orange Cheeto. The thing that's so disconcerting to me is how mentally ill Donald Trump is, and how he's allowed to create really dangerous conditions with QAnon and, you know, the domestic terrorist extremist groups. It's so disturbing to me that he is He's a crazy person. And then once again, you know, over in Russia, it's real similar. Well, it's not the same, but what's similar is a crazy man is not being stopped. And we'll look at Russia, but first we're going to look at Trump. We're going to look at how Trump is feeling right now, and we're going to look at, is Trump organizing with the QAnon cult members to do something that's violent? We're just going to look. We're being brave. I'm telling you, if I was in Russia, you know, if you were in Russia, you couldn't do any of this stuff. I think about that a lot. All is well. Oh, well, here's Trump's being foolish. Yeah, Trump's making a stupid plan. It's not going to work. He can't figure it out. The United States will win over that. It really does look like Trump can't really get it together. And when you see how much he's incriminated himself with everything he says, oh my gosh, I can just, you know, think the documents are declassified. The guys are saying his lawyers, Trump's lawyers, are going down, like they're going to be dropping like flies. Away, they're just going to be leaving him, pretending they never knew him. But you know, is Trump collaborating with QAnon to promote violence? And you know what I'm actually picking up about this? The QAnon followers, they don't really have the physical energy. It's not like they're able-bodied, you know. Don't think, you know, I don't mean to underestimate, but I just feel like they don't have the wherewithal to really put it together. They think about violence. Trump is trying to scheme and figure out how he can get QAnon to be a movement to overthrow the United States. Yes, he's still thinking about that. Because he's hell-bent on being powerful, just like Putin. And the way their brains work. But the United States is on it. I actually feel there are people behind the scenes that are keeping a close watch on QAnon. And are going to help to avert any big danger. I'm going to look at what's going to happen in Iran. Okay. I'm just going to look into more detail. What's going to happen in Iran? The world will rally. So not only the United States women will have an impact because we're rising up too. But okay, so this is karmic. Yeah, like it's going to be really hard in Iran. I do see a lot of death, unfortunately, because it's kind of a revolution. The karma card is coming around. This is part of when you look at the big picture of things, it looks like this is a shift in consciousness of human civilization. The world is part of it. You know, it's like after World War II, the world shifted. I'm not saying we're going to have World War III, but we're really in a time where it's similar to that. And it is a shift in us as a civilization. Lots of destruction in Iran, death. But I feel like the world is going to come together and help. I'm beginning to see a pattern here. Because Putin invaded Ukraine and NATO got stronger. And I know there's other things that are happening, like the thing in Italy, and I think it was Sweden. Sweden elected, or Finland, I'm not sure which, elected a far-right leader. I need to look that up, what country it was. You don't have to tell me, I'll find out. I'll go back and look. But at the same time, you know, there's the darkness, like Putin invading Ukraine, And then there's a darkness in this country, Trump inciting a war in the United States. And then there is like a fighting back, but a strengthening. Like Putin invading Ukraine led to a strengthening of world powers. And he doesn't have a lot of fans. And I feel like Trump inciting a war on the United States will make the United States of America stronger. I know we're in the muck. I know we're in the thick of it. I know it's not easy. But it will. And we've got to keep our minds on that. Right? You got to come to the 20 on Tuesdays where we do a guided meditation for 20 minutes where we visualize the light winning, the healing happening. There's no growth without pain. Let's just, be real. There's no growth without pain. Okay, so Letitia James in New York has pretty much taken all his money away. Let's take a look at that. What's going to happen with that? I feel like the Trump kids are incredulous. And I feel like the Trump adult children are acting as though this can never happen. They could never lose all their money. They're acting as if that's the case. Let's see if they will. Jared Kushner has a lot of money from Saudi Arabia. Now, I know he's a son-in-law. They will lose a lot of money. They will lose a ton of money. I just feel like they've done so. The kids, the Trump children, Jared especially, the son-in-law, he's lining up overseas money. What the Saudis gave him $2 billion? Can you believe this stuff happens and unchecked? He should be in prison too. But now I have the Seven of Pentacles, which they will lose it all. Right now, they're still sitting pretty financially right now. So they're not thinking about the future. They're not. But ultimately, like their money will run out is what I'm picking up. Yeah, the Ten of Cups. So Letitia James it's going to take a while before the money is taken. So they're still kind of sitting pretty, but on either side of this, things are going to get rough for the Trump adult children. When they say the children, it's like, come on, they're not little kids. The Trumps. I should just say the Trumps. When you say children, it's like, I don't think of Donald Trump as a fatherly kind of person, so it just sounds weird. Oh, dum-de-dum. Let's see. If you want to book a reading, I have room. AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. Please don't book on my website because I'm working with somebody new on getting that booking to work. I'm so bad at this stuff. Anyway, so just email me, AnnetteDion7@gmail.com if you'd like to book a reading. I'll just get right back to you. Now, we're going to look at Russia. We're going to look at what's going on there. I feel the terror of the people in Russia. I feel the terror of the young men. Actually, he's just sending everyone to war. Forced war. And then, the annexation, the vote that he's doing to get Ukrainians to under force to say they agree to be part of Russia. And it's bad. It's really, really bad. He's gone full on Hitler. Didn't I just say that about Trump? Not too long ago. It's not the same thing. But the QAnon people holding up their finger. It's remarkable, I tell you. Is anyone else detecting a pattern here? So we're going to look at Russia and what's going to happen with this. Putin is so desperate. And, I was thinking people are worried about him talking about nuclear weapons. And then, I got to thinking, like, if he drops a nuclear weapon on Ukraine, then he's got a radiated country. What's the point of that? And what's he going to do with Ukraine? It's insanity. It is. If you think that you're living in the Twilight Zone, it is kind of like that. Well, Ukraine, this isn't about romantic love. This is about people joining together to help. I feel like the Ukrainians are going to get a lot of help, like they already are. And the Nine of Wands, see the lion behind the wands, Putin is going to be reined in. I'm not sure how. Probably because he's running out of options. I feel him being reined in. Not from any person in particular or country in particular, but being hemmed in and reined in by the circumstances. I don't think Putin can just continue to hit this hard. It's just like he's run out of so many things. Let's just ask, is Putin eventually going to concede? What I mean is he just gonna stop? Is Putin eventually just gonna stop it? Just cut it out, go back home? I'm getting yes on that. I'm getting yes on that. I'm getting eventually he's just gonna stop it because he has to. He's got nothing. The country's broke. He's got nothing left. Will it be? Will it be? Time is so hard to predict. Let's just say, will it be soon? Will it be soon that happens? That Putin just runs out of... I guess that's too vague because it's going around counterclockwise. Will it be this year that Putin just kind of stops? It's going around in a circle, so there's too many things at play for it to give me an answer. And sometimes, you know, I take that as if we all get our thoughts going in the right direction, we can affect that. Because our thoughts create reality. On a personal level and on a collective level, our thoughts create reality. So, and from the beginning of the time that Putin invaded Ukraine, I have felt that our thoughts, you know, had to be in the right place. And they still do. They always do. In order for Ukraine to... I hate to say win. Ukraine to get their power back. Okay. What else do I have here? So, Trump... Meanwhile, back to Trump, who's the same as Putin. Did you hear he's still talking to Kim Jong-un? I did hear that. How could he? I was listening to somebody saying that Trump is still planning to take Biden down. By the way, if you want my letter where I spelled out the GOP's plan, if they get into power, the GOP's plan, number one, is to impeach Joe Biden. Let's take a look. We're taking a look at Trump's plan to take down Biden. Not the entire GOP. Trump has this fantasy. Like, remember when Obama was president? He could not stand that Obama was president. Can you imagine the glee when Trump won? The glee that he felt because he was taken... They went into the White House and started taking down everything the Obamas had there in terms of like paint colors and all that. They changed it all up. Because Trump cannot stand for other people to... He looks at it like upstaging. To upstage him. No, Trump is going to be too broken. And I wish they would stop saying, oh, if he runs for president. That's when I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Honestly, when I hear that phrase on the news, I feel like I'm in the freaking Twilight Zone. If he runs for president. He incited a war on the United States of America, and he was okay with our leaders being assassinated. So I don't understand why the news keeps saying if he runs for president. I am telling you what, I can't even, it just, it just really burns me. Is Trump going to declare his candidacy to run for president of the United States? I see no. So they should just shut up about it. You know what I mean? Dropped a card. Okay. We're going to look at a few cards about the midterms, and I told everybody already, I see the Democrats winning. Tell all your friends to vote and to vote blue all the way down the ballot. Get your voting in early. I see a blue wave. I do see a blue wave. However, the Republicans, let me describe what I see. This is how the guides are showing it to me. I don't know if you know what I mean when I say a string purse. There's a kind of a little, like a bag, a little purse that has a string woven through like the opening so you can pull it shut. I don't have one. I don't think. But anyway, I've had them for like my cards and stuff. Kind of like a bag like this, but the strings pull it up from all the sides. Probably not making any sense. But anyway, when I think about what the Republicans have, it's like they have a plan, and they're just looking at how to tie up their plan, which is basically about tying up our democracy so that they have full-on control. And they want to take away Medicaid and Medicare. They want to impeach Biden. They want to shut down all investigations into January 6th. They want to take away voting rights. Obviously, they want to have a federal ban on abortion. It goes on and on and on, right? So we're going to look, and that's the way that the guides showed it to me. It was like they're pulling the strings. They're pulling these strings, and they're trying to bring it all together. The guides speak in pictures often, so then I have to interpret. Okay. How is that going to go? Today, it's like in New England, we're in that weird season where it's like it's warm one day and it's cold the next day, and it's like I went into my storage space and was like, do I get my big sweater, or do I get some socks, or do I just wear sandals for a few more days? I don't like when the sock season comes. So this is about the Republicans. The plan that they have is devastating. The plan that the GOP has is devastating for America. It would end America. That's basically a coup. The plan the GOP has for America would end America. We would be a dictatorship. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's what they have in their minds. Devastating. It looks like America's going to come into balance, though. And people that love democracy are going to be rising up. So they're full of hurt and pain. The Republicans are full of hurt and pain. Who wants that? We don't want hurt and pain. Get out and vote for love and light, not hurt and pain. I cannot go without going into our DeSantis, true to his name. Excuse me. DeSantis. I told you, the female Massachusetts lawyers, the immigration lawyers, they're gonna burn his butt. Seriously. Not just them. The sheriff in Texas, too. He must be an immigration sheriff or something. Boy, is he mad. What DeSantis did was just illegal, and no matter how you look at it, no matter how you turn it, it's illegal, 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 illegal. You don't do that. But, in fascism, they just keep pushing. So what's going to happen to DeSantis is my vision of him being handcuffed, arrested and handcuffed, is that... Was that symbolic or was that actual? Oh, DeSantis is in huge trouble. Huge! This is America. This is a DOJ. Yeah. DeSantis is so blind with a need to be cruel. He can't even like look at all the angles. He's just like, I need to be cruel. I need to be cruel. Unbelievable. It's just really something. Be glad that you're a good person. Really. Be grateful that you're a good person. Because you could have been born like as messed up as DeSantis. Oh, and I did say I was going on the other night. Saturday night, I was going on. You might remember if you were there. Florida's going to get slammed with hurricanes. Ian is on its way. I heard today that the whole state of Florida has declared a state of emergency, you know, or something like that. I don't know if the storm is hitting yet. I'm pretty sure it's in a day or two. So, DeSantis won't help anybody. He won't help a soul. And then we'll see if Florida votes Republican. All right? Let's see what's going to happen with the weather. In Florida. I know I'm probably leaving out a topic, but we'll get to it next time. And as far as I know, on Wednesday, Corey and I are getting together, but I don't know, for our show on Bridge Cape Ann every Wednesday, live, for way too long. Keep telling them to cut it down, and we never do. Florida weather, very challenging. Very challenging. And believe it or not, I know this is really hard to believe, but I see after these horrible storms that Florida is going to be facing in this hurricane season, I actually see green technology being put into place. I see a move towards that. Well, you know, with all this bad weather coming to Florida, hurricane season started late. The weather patterns are shifting a lot. So, and I picked up on 7 pretty big hurricanes this year. A lot of people suffering right now. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Pakistan, people that are, you know, in these like civil rising up situations. I mean, count your blessings. It's rough. So I do see that it's going to be really challenging for Florida, but the bad weather ultimately is going to lead to more better things happening. I'm not really sure what that is. I see green technology. And let's just ask before I go, is Christ going to win for governor? I get yes. Charlie Crist. I mean, DeSantis is just, and that's a big yes. DeSantis has made too many people too angry. Is Christ going to kind of, am I getting that strong yes because DeSantis will be in legal trouble? Because DeSantis will be in legal trouble. I haven't heard what Christ has said about these immigration stunts. These little dog and pony shows that using people as pawns. It's awful. It's awful. It's just awful. It's evil incarnate. Let me leave you with a couple of cards to tie you over for the next couple of days. So the January 6th committee hearings, I'm not going to do a reading about that. I think I've already read a lot about that. 1 o'clock Eastern time on Wednesday. I will be watching. I clear my schedule for these things. I will be watching. Check it out. Do it live if you can. I don't have a way to do a live stream on my channel, or I would. I would if I could. So for the week, yeah, I keep getting the lover card, so don't think that love and light are not in the picture, because they are. For the week, focus on love. I mean that. There's nothing weak about love. Focus on being loving, being kind, being caring, taming your impatience and your judgments and your irritation. Just work on taming that, because it's going to make things go a lot smoother individually and collectively. The Two of Swords is, we're going to feel a little bit this week like things are kind of stuck. I'm annoyed that things are, like we all are, that Trump is going around. He's got another rally planned. Now I'm going to have a meditation during the rally on October 1st. Let me see. Is he going to go through with, is that rally going to happen on October 1st? I don't know why the pendulum's saying no. No idea. Is the rally going to happen on October 1st? I'm not really sure why it's giving me no, because I don't know what would keep him from having the rally. Sorry, now I'm in pendulum land. What do you mean the rally's not going to happen on October 1st? Is this just indicating that it won't be successful? No. Is Trump going to have a health problem? No. Are they going to cancel the rally? No idea. That's Saturday night. It's planned for Saturday night. I don't even know where. I don't care. But we will be meditating. Any rallies that he has left before, I don't know, he goes to prison or something, we will be meditating all the way through it. We might just chant Om all the way through it, but we have to be the counter, the light to that heinous, evil, demonic energy. Well, that was different. I want you to come to the meditation on Tuesdays, AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. Type 20 in the subject line. We'll get you the Zoom invite. And this week I'm starting up. We'll do the meditation and we'll have a 15-minute break. And anybody who wants to stay for a little bit of a prayer meeting where I go over the readings from Sunday. We just kind of dive in. I can answer your questions. We'll do that too on Tuesdays. And Grassroots of Democracy, we're alive and well and doing a lot of work. Grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com. Type AYE in the subject line. Please come to our meetings. Time is of the essence. We only have 6 weeks left. And I want to encourage you to subscribe to Midas Touch. Oh, definitely subscribe to my channel. And subscribe to Midas Touch too, because they're doing really, really good work. We're all working really hard. But we have to be all in to save our democracy. So join, get on the bandwagon, join the crowd. We're a good crowd. And I'll see you soon. Namaste. Love you all. And thank you for your kind comments too. See you later.